Let's dance, guys. I'm like, which angle should I show? Bum 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 bum. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Hey, welcome. I'm just releasing some energy. Thank you, Erica. You wouldn't believe what horrible things they tried to say about me, girl. Just because I'm free. And all I've ever tried to do is love. And all they ever tried to do is take. And still, I remain the same. And it's a blessing to not allow your heart to be hardened when you're hurting, okay? And Erica, I can feel your energy right now. I know you're one of those people. I know you're one of those people who gives and loves, okay? And you may have not received what you deserve back, but it's coming, okay? The beat gonna come back on. It's a completely different song. You know what? Yeah. People hate what they can't be, but it's like, they could be. You know what I'm saying? They could be. And, you know, I kind of had to come on here and just dance because I was feeling anxious a little bit, and I always feel nervous. As much as I love going live, I always feel nervous, and I don't be knowing what I'm about to talk about. And, you know, I don't know. I'm just trying to remain free in a world held captive. Trying to remain free in a world held captive. Try to free as many souls as I can while I'm here. Okay? I had to learn to let go that you can't save everyone. And also a big lesson has been like having boundaries, you know, not having boundaries. Not everybody deserves that love you got. Let me turn this down just a little bit because I'm starting to get the message coming through. Not everybody deserves you. And as a sweetheart by nature, I had to learn that. Because a sweetheart is like, well, even if that person's mean, or maybe if I just show them some of my sugar, you know, like what if I just put a little honey on it, you know, maybe. But there's a serious, a lot of people have attachments. If you don't do your healing and your shadow work and you just hold on to grief and pain and trauma, you know, that like that's like a demonic attachment. And people who don't heal, they get really triggered by people who are healed. People who do and like, you might not even feel like you healed. You'd be like, I am in pain, okay? But you have a special light about you, okay? There's a divinity about you, the purity of your heart. I'm not sure when your birthday is, Erica, but there's a purity in your heart, and it triggers people. You know, and it's painful before you really, especially as an empath, before you realize that you must protect yourself, that somebody else's energy is not yours, people's feelings are not your responsibility. You know, we can really get our energy like stolen from us. A lot of people who are shining, they don't want you to shine. So like, you might have a gift, right? That's obvious to everyone, or especially like your family or people who knew you from the past. And they will try to say that it's not important. And the tragedy is when you believe that. The tragedy is when you believe what other people think of you. No, you are what you say you are, okay? That it is between you and your maker. Your spirituality, however you receive God, you know what I'm saying? And it's been a hard lesson for me. You know, I feel actually kind of emotional because, Lord, you gonna do this to me right now? She's like, yeah. I just kind of felt the spirit realm with like, cue the waterworks. Like, no, we're not crying about it. But it's really painful because I know that there's been so many people in my life that needed healing, and I really wanted to give it to them. I really wanted to see them shine. I wanted to see them be great. And they never wanted that for me. They wanted me to hate myself. And it's crazy. It's not just a one person. It's like an energy. That it's like an energy. And for people who are light workers and have that special light that is really honestly manifested here on this planet to help raise the vibration, like our planet is being taken over by a dark force, okay? And there are anointed ones here that are going to be, you know, divine couples, have divine jobs, be in divine like positions, so that we can affect the hearts of other people and lift them up, which is gonna like each one teach one. If I'm happy and I give you some happy, and then you give somebody else some happy, the planet, the vibration of the planet rises. I gotta blow my nose a little bit. And sorry guys, this live just got real. I didn't know what I was going to talk about, but that's why you know, spirit just be doing what spirit trying to do. That's why I did my little dance, because that's kind of how, that's one of my ways that I can like really invoke that energy. And so, you know, it's, oh, I'm so glad that this is being a blessing to you, okay? I'm so glad to be able to agree with you, and because I'm going through it too. Like I've been all my life I had a pipe, you know, and it's crazy because I was in a lot of pain growing up. I was adopted, and it was really painful because it was an open adoption, but I found out I was adopted on accident. And then when I met my mom, it was so It was more of a painful experience. It just added more pain. And because I'm such an empath, even though I was the kid and everybody should have been catering to me, I catered to the adults in my life. I was like, well, I don't want my adoptive parents to know that I'm in so much pain. And I don't want them to think I'm ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? And then I was afraid to let my birth mom know, like, I love you and I need you, okay? Like, I don't give a fuck about, like, what happened in the past, but I need you in my life. And I was afraid to, like, just express that, you know what I'm saying? So I carried that a long time, and I was damn near, because I let people treat me bad. My husband, everything, okay? And I'm loyal as fuck. I don't walk out of people's lives, okay? Or before I didn't, you know what I'm saying? And, but I did go, after I completely got broken down, okay, I healed myself, you know? And God lifted me up, and he lifted me higher. Like, the way I feel about myself now, I ain't never felt like this. I ain't never had this much confidence in my life. I feel like I might, if I could jump out the window, I might fly. I ain't gonna try it yet. We gonna wait till God's like, wait till you get your new body and we got the new earth. You know what I'm saying? Don't jump out that window. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like anything and everything is possible for me, you know? And that reflection, because I feel that way about me, I actually feel that way about everyone around me. You know, if you're in my life, okay, even for a brief time, it's because we're a reflection of each other. And just depending on, you know, there's always just a lesson. And I really just, like, learned, you know, even, like, past relationships and things of that nature, it's like, I'm starting, instead of being angry, like, that relationship was a waste of time, or, you know, kind of thinking, like, why did I go through that? No, it didn't happen to me. It happened for me so that I could grow. And I'm actually starting to look back at, like, even though I did have painful experiences growing out and through romantic relationships and stuff like that, it was kind of like, it was still gentle. It was still on the edge of, it wasn't more than I could take. And I really was able to grow. And so, so yeah, I had to overcome a lot. And that was one obstacle. Now it's like living in my power, standing in my power. Now I'm a fucking powerhouse, right, of energy. Especially since I've been 3 days without weed, girl. I am out of this world. I have so much energy, I don't know what to do, okay? I can't believe how much I was blocking myself, okay? But everything happens for a reason, right? But now that I'm an energy powerhouse, here come the energy vampires. You know what I'm saying? And that was lesson number 2 after gaining my own confidence, is that no, motherfuckers are still going to try to come for me. Okay. And, you know, so it's been, you know, my most recent, the last year has really been about, like, claiming my throne. You know what I'm saying? Standing my ground, not letting nobody push me around. You know, just because they're simple-minded, just because they're not healed, okay, just because they have demon attachments, okay? Like, not everybody's anointed. And people don't want to hear that. Not everyone's a chosen one. Not everyone can be queen. Not everyone can be the leader. Not everyone is the chief, okay? God will appoint the leaders. And if you feel you're called to a particular position, because we can learn from each other, like, you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody, no stupid ass human, tell you different than what God has been instilling you. Like, you've probably been knowing since a child that you had a special gift in whatever industry that is. You know what I'm saying? That you're supposed to shine in a special way. Okay? And don't let nobody take that from you. Okay? Like, don't let and God will fight for you too. That's what I also learned in the last year. When you're anointed, you're called, when you make a covenant with God, even if you, like, oh man, I ain't prayed in so long, you could start today. Okay? You could start today and be like, you know what, God, just come into my life. You know what I'm saying? be careful because this shit gonna shift. Shit gonna change. You gonna see like all these things. But still, that ain't, your relationship with God ain't got nothing to do with nobody else. Okay? And people will, like, the more people who come against you, that's the magnitude of your blessing. Okay? So you got to be strong. Like, I want me a divine love partner in my life. You know what I'm saying? But I know it can't just be anybody. You know? It's not going to be no random. It's going to be someone appointed to stand with me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, to stand with me, you got to be really spiritually strong. You can't be folding. You can't care what other people think. Okay? No. When you're here to change the world, you can't care about what some simple-minded motherfucker got to say about anything. Okay? You got to block them out. You know, so protecting my energy, I realize I'm super friendly and I like people just in general. But I realize, like, nobody has an open invitation into my inner circle. You must apply to be in my inner circle, okay? I deserve. Ooh, I got a story about the word deserve, too. I deserve people to prove themselves to me because I know who I am, okay? Before I didn't know who I was, so it was just like, now that I know that I'm gifted, anointed, appointed, I'm not gonna let no stupid motherfucker take that from me, okay? And nobody could build me up like this. Only me, okay? And my spiritual team, which is me. Do you understand that? That God is inside of you, okay? And so I wanted to talk about the word deserve because that's very significant. Part of my healing process through my adoption, we had this, like, my mom was only 13 when I was born. So me being adopted had nothing really to do with her. She was a child herself. And so when when we tried to, like, rebuild as me being an adult, hold on, I got one nostril running. When we tried to rebuild as me being an adult, one of the first things she did is she kind of set up a meeting between my grandparents and her, so that we could just kind of talk about, like, what really happened, why it went down, you know, why did my grandparents not choose to just freaking raise me? Because for a long time, I felt like I had got duped, y'all. Felt like I had got duped out of a family, out of a freaking legacy. Like, I am very in tune with, like, ancestry and all that, you know, so I felt really fucked up to not have that reflection in my life. And one thing that I told my grandparents, or grandmother specifically, I said, I deserved better. And it triggered her because she was tripping off that word deserve. And it kind of let me know, like, you know, like, part of her trauma, and, you know, she's obviously much older than me, right? You know, and that old school life, right? It's like, she ain't never heard nobody say they deserve something type energy. And she kind of made me feel, like, a little bit ashamed that I felt like I deserved something. And that's her problem. That's her lack of understanding. That's her lack of confidence. Never feeling like she deserved, like she just been living life and whatever happens to her happens to her. And that, and obviously times have changed dramatically, so we can't blame our grandparents and our parents for not being as evolved as we are. But, like, that's another reason we can't be listening to they ass either. Because if they don't even feel like they deserve something, how are they going to feel like you deserve something? People feel like you got to work your ass off to have something, when that is not the rules of this planet. That is not universal law. Universal law is you are what you, or you attract what you are. So if you are vibing like a millionaire, you're a millionaire. It didn't mean that you had to freaking slave and sacrifice and you know what I'm saying? It's like you attract what you are. Okay, you can and whatever you're thinking about and focusing on, that's what's going to come into your life. So if you can transform the way you think, you can transform your freaking life. That's a huge reason why the powers at be and whatever our society, the people who run in our society, they don't want us to be free thinkers. You know how they be telling about us how we only use 10% of our brain? How stupid is that? How you gonna live a whole life and only use 10% of your brain? Like, God did not say only use 10% of your brain. What kind of bullshit is that? Spirit is telling me that the Bible is what made us start only using 10% of our brain, because the other 90% is ethereal energy, is manifestation power. Okay? And so I do love the Bible and what it can enlighten you to. So I don't want to say that. But what I'm saying is that you must understand that it's a tool of manipulation. And you have to have the discernment. You need to ask God for discernment on what is right for you. And not everything is right. Like, what's good and evil for me is not the same for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's relative. Good and evil is relative. They don't want you to know that. They want you to feel like this is the standard and everybody needs to live by the standard. But everybody is not the same. Okay? So, yes. Okay, Spirit, give me something that we need. Holy powers, thank you for this day and thank you for having us here gathered today. And I just ask that you rain down your blessing on us. Help us, lift us up. Help us fight the fight so that we can bring the good works to the earth. Ashe. Ha! Trust in higher forces, okay? This shaman energy right here. So this is ancestors coming straight through, basically saying, yes, like, use more than 10% of your brain, okay? Hey, what's up, Courtney? Thank you for being here. Yeah, I'm loving the shaman energy. I've been trying to kind of figure out, like, am I a witch? Am I a shaman? Am I a high priestess? Like, but I feel like they're actually all of those things are similar, and they're just perspective and degrees and frequency, okay? And so, that's another thing, is that we're all the fucking, like, everything, we're all one. You know what I'm saying? So, like, no, we're not all the same, but yes, we are at the same time. I don't know. That got kind of complex. But, like, a witch, a shaman, and a high priestess are, like, pretty much all the same thing, just different cultures. You know, like, all the different religions, same God. You know what I'm saying? And they're damn near telling the same story, but it's just different perspective. And, like, it's thinking that it's not all the same is actually what causes the division. So I may have contradicted myself a little bit, but use your gift of discernment to know, like, you know, discern that shit. You are me and I am you. Yeah, we're a reflection of each other, like, for real. Even if we don't look the same, like, so, like, so it's just relative. It's just relative, basically. Okay, but we might find that we all desire similar things. Okay, so move beyond ancestral patterns. So just like my elder, my grandma, you know, she never felt like she deserved any better, right? And so she didn't ask for more. She took what she felt like whatever she was getting is what she deserved, you know? And moving past the ancestral pattern would be understanding that, no, I determine my wealth, my worth and my wealth, okay? And, you know, just moving beyond those patterns, those cycles, breaking those curses that keep us in the 10% brain. I'm definitely using more than 10% of my brain. Like, I don't know how much percent I'm using, but I'm definitely over the 10% because I be in the realms. Hold the space and water and connect with your emotions. These kind of came out a little bit, so I just want to shake it again. What is the message? Wait for important information. Okay, so this is you connecting with spirit. Okay, it could even be you, since this is an oracle, it could be you doing certain divinations, either with cards, but I feel like prayer is a divination as well. I just got me some runes. People be reading coffee. I'm telling you, like, God is everywhere. Okay, people literally have coffee ground readings. Like, they drink the cup of coffee and they look at it and be like, okay, well, based on this little smudge over here and that smudge over there, I'll tell a whole story. Okay. And so even though there's different ways to do divination and we call it different things and there's different frequencies, it's all the same thing. So I really, like, for me, how do I recognize God in other cultures, religions, or like just out in the nature? Love, you know? Yeah. I reckon God is love. And so that's how I'm able to recognize whether or not something is high vibrational or low vibrational. You know, because I think also, like, I don't know, I feel like I'm getting a freaking alchemical lesson right now, but it's kind of like there's really no such thing as good and evil either, because everything is relative, you know? So we are definitely, all the cards that came out are ancestor cards. So follow the voice of your soul. So my slogan for God is the highest form of praise is to be your true, authentic self. God ain't call you to be like somebody else. He gave you look, I got one dimple. Wait, which side is the dimple on? I think it's on that side. Yeah. I got one dimple, okay? And not no dimple on that side. On purpose. Okay? My eyes is brown. My face shaped just like this. My complexion is the way it is that's supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't call me to have blonde hair and blue eyes. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I was supposed to do that, then I would. Okay? And so we don't need to be like, it's perfectly okay to be inspired by our reflections that we see. You know? Like, if you're inspired by something, that's part of who you are. Okay? Through my adoption process, healing process, I learned that I was kind of confused about, like, my likes and dislikes and, like, who I am in general. And it was a process, but I had to finally accept that, like, it's okay if I like that person's hat and those person's shoes. Like, yes, I like that stuff. You know, because I was kind of feeling like, well, is that natural to me or am I making it up? No. If I like it, I like it. You know? If you see an idea, you know, or you learn some information, just because you learned it from that person doesn't necessarily mean you're copying. You're just doing your own interpretation. Now, there are definitely people who impersonate others, but that's a whole situation. That's the healing they need to know. They didn't realize that they weren't called to impersonate another person. They were called to learn from that person and interpret it, and, you know, so that it could be its own unique version of that information. I'm telling you, universal law is the same for everyone, but we speak it out differently. Make plans and focus. I'm liking how all the cards here, they're ancestor cards. Like, this is the Angels and Ancestors Oracle decks. And so it could be angels that came out, or it could be ancestors, you know, people. And it's all people coming through. So this is definitely a call to correct some of the patterns and the things that we learned as humans, even in, like, your previous lifetimes or whatever. It's definitely a call, like, of changing the world. It's not just like, oh, these are my thoughts and, you know, my personal journey. Like, no. Like, no, we need you to show up like this. Okay? We need you to take action on your plans that you make and focus on that. Okay, last message, please. Yeah, and I wasn't sure if it was going to be an angel or an ancestor. Look, this is the crone, okay? The wise one. Grow within your current situation, all right? So, yeah, more of what I just said. Spirit is asking us to transform ourselves, because when we transform ourselves, then we're going to affect other people and they can transform too, you know? And I feel my revolutionary spirit coming back. But there was one point in time I was a crazy revolutionary. Like, I was ready for the world to end right then and there. Like, fuck it, God, let's just bring down the tower. You know what I'm saying? And I used to like spread lots of messages. Like, this page I'm on right now has been up since 2009. So if you want to, you can scroll back and see that I've been the same girl, just evolving for years. Okay, and freaking. I fucking lost my train of thought. Oh, okay. So growing within your current situation. Okay, I was talking about how I was a revolutionary. Okay. And how that's coming back. That energy is coming back. And it's like a physical thing. You know what I'm saying? It's like a that's what I had, the statement I had wanted to make, is that when I was in my revolutionary thing, I used to be like, you need to change, you need to change, you need to change, you need change. You know what I'm saying? Who needed to change? Don't all speak at once. I needed to change. Okay. Something that the revolution starts at home was my first slogan. So I stopped being like, you need to change, being on Facebook and telling everybody else to change. So I started making changes within my own family. And then I had to take an even further step back and say the revolution starts within. Okay? And so that was, and since I started being like the revolution starts within, I stopped expecting things from other people. I stopped looking to other people to change the world, and I started changing the world from within me. Okay? And yeah. And that is how I became Remedy Williams. My name wasn't even always Remedy. Okay? I actually, my name changed. It's all about adoption. As much as I was so sad to be adopted, I'm telling you, I was so sad. It would hurt me to see other kids with their parents. That's how sad I was. And I kept all that in. Okay? Because as much as I had good parents and they had money and they were always there for me and I was their only child, my adoptive mother could never really nurture me because she lost 4 pregnancies and then adopted me. So it was like I was very much second option. You know what I'm saying? And because of the lack of healing, because my adoptive mother is actually the same age as my grandmother. So because old folks don't do healing work, she could never give me what I was looking for. She never made me feel like a daughter. Okay? And so it wasn't until I did my healing work that I really, truly started appreciating my adoptive mother for everything she did, because it's like she really did. Like, I realized that moms aren't perfect, first of all, through my own motherhood. So moms are just people, okay? And so I do love my mom a lot, and I'm so thankful for her. For any of my relatives who want to be like, she on there talking that shit, I do love my mom, okay? I know she's there for me, okay? But I'm talking about my emotions. And so, and that freaking rabbit made me freaking forget what I was even talking about. But ultimately, it was me that had to make the transformation first, and then you affect other people, and that's how we change the world. And so if you see something that you don't like about the world, be that change that you want to see, rather than expecting that thing change on its own or something. Instead of expecting, like, you know, like if, you know, like whatever it is that you don't like in the world, make sure that you don't contribute to what you don't like, and that you make the transformation. Hey Nick, thank you for being here. Do I want to pull another card? I'm gonna use my oracle deck here. Whoop. Emotions with this Cups energy. You are responsible for your emotions. No one can make you feel no type of way. It's you. Okay? So even if people are just like pointing at the finger, you talking shit, going back to the beginning of the message, okay? You're responsible for how you receive that. Thank you so much, Erica. She says, thank you so much for this. You have been exactly what I needed this morning. God has definitely used you today. And I truly appreciate that feedback, because I be coming on here live, not really knowing what I'm going to talk about or what my purpose is, or if there's a purpose at all. Okay, I started off dancing, as you know. So I'm so glad that I could give you this message, and for you giving me your time and attention, as you could be anywhere in the world right now, but you're here with me, and I do appreciate that. Ooh. Moon cycles and arousal. I'm not sure why that would come out exactly right now, but I definitely have something to say about it. Moon cycles. Okay, this is you getting in tune with the world, the earth, and just kind of, this is especially important for women. Okay, we are very much in tune with the moon, with our cycles. We literally cycle with the moon. And so this could definitely help you feel more in tune with the spiritual realm. Also with arousal here, this is giving me solar plexus and sacral energy. And this is your creativity. This is excitement. Okay, as women, right, as moons, we can't, something else that society does to us is stifle our sexual energy. Ooh, there's somebody else made a post yesterday that I was like, ooh, so insightful. And she was talking about how we've been lied to in our society, and how the true strength of the man is in his heart, and the true strength of a woman is in her sexual energy. And it's been like our society flipped it. You see how they fuck us over like that? That how the man is overly sexual and the woman is all in her emotions. That's not even the natural divine order, okay? That's not even the natural divine order. The man's supposed to be in his emotions, while we have that sacred sexual creative energy. And so that's why they don't want us women talking. That's why they want us to sit down. That's why they want us to cover up, because of how powerful we are. Because sexual energy is creative energy. Okay? Sexual energy is creative energy. So if we're scared to be sexy, that means we're not creating nothing, and we're just letting the society, we're not changing the world. So it's very important to just get comfortable. And you know, some women are empowered by nudity, some women are empowered by modesty. Both are perfectly fine, because you know, being modest doesn't mean that you're not a sexual being. It just means that you super preserve it. And then and you consider it so sacred that you only want to share it at certain times and with certain people. And then we do need women who are not afraid to show their sexy, because we got to break the stigma that sexy is wrong. Okay? And also we have to break down that sexual energy within the masculine of saying, we gonna have titties regardless. Okay, we gonna shake ass regardless. And you need to be in control of your sexual urges. You need to learn how to love and not just be so lustful. You know, because we need it to be more normalized that sexy is normal and that it's not a sin. You know what I'm saying? That sexy is beautiful, sexy is creative. You know, sexy is happy. You know, to be sexy just means you're happy. You know, African women still walking around with titties out, not getting raped. You know? So We need to get back to our indigenous roots with all these damn ancestor cards over here. While breaking these patterns that society put us on. Okay, let's see if there's anything else that needs to be spoken on. Ooh, I think I'm going to pull from this other deck, too. My fairy tale deck. Ooh, yeah, stimulate your senses. So this, to me, has sexual energy related to it. I don't know why stimulate, you know, it makes me kind of feel like masturbate. But stimulate your senses also is stopping to smell the roses, okay? Massage energy. This is really, stimulate your senses is going to actually help you get out of that 10% brain use, because you're going to be in, you're going to feel, you know, okay, this is gonna be my last card. Am I in this? Yes, me too. Like, embracing my sexuality, and I've just had so many different phases of life that I've been in. But embracing my sexuality has been lit. Clover. I don't know what this story is. So here's the card. Luck, creativity, and serendipity. In the story of Thumbelina, the heroine had to avoid unwanted suitors. Ooh, I feel like this is about to hit home for me. One of them was a very nasty mole. Luckily for Thumbelina, she was kind to an injured swallow who returned to save her from the pursuing rodent. The bird left her in a forest where she could hide. Inspired by the beautiful clover, she made a bower for herself. Here in the clover card, our sweet little Thumbelina is asleep. Perhaps her dreams are showing her how to spark her own fortunes even more. Thumbelina will be rewarded for creating her own luck, and so will you. Know that serendipity is smiling on you every time Clover turns up. Where you see this card, look for the opportunity cards nearby. That is where you will be blessed with fortune. Negative cards nearby can indicate that growth is not going to happen the way you might have hoped for. When the clover appears near ill-fated cards, it may mean that you are hiding from your own good luck. Be like Thumbelina and utilize this card of opportunity to make things go your way. This is a perfect card to end because we didn't have nothing but good cards that came out in this whole spread. It was all just advice on how we can activate ourselves, focus, clear ancestral patterns. So I really feel like we're gonna be very lucky in moving forward. Okay, so yay. All right, thank you again so much for being here with me, and if ever you do want a personal reading, you can DM me and I would love to do it for you. But until next time, peace and love.